Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Deb Slutmone. I've got Cheryl Simmons on with me as well. Cheryl, say hi to everyone.
Hey, everyone.
I know if I don't get you talking right away, Cheryl, you'll stay quiet for the whole time.
I was planning on it. I'm just kidding.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to show you some of our payroll tools today. And, our overall hope is that everyone's staying healthy and not going a little stir crazy. So if we can help give you some fun entertainment, right, Cheryl? That's our plan.
Entertainment, yes.
Entertainment. We're talking payroll tools today. So we've got some really fun payroll tools, right, Cheryl, that we're going to talk about today. And let me get my slideshow going here. We've got three of them we're going to talk about. And, Cheryl's been kind of telling me, the last couple of minutes as we're prepping, be on time, be ready, and move, because she knows I'm kind of slow and kind of a yapper, right, Cheryl?
We only got 30 minutes.
I know, 30 minutes. It's so hard for me because there's so much to show, but I might sneak in one more if we have time, okay? But guys, we're going to talk about PayrollRewind, TimeCorrect, and WebTimeEntry. And I am going to tell you, I am super excited about all of these tools. They each, every payroll, each of these tools gives a little something different and makes payroll so much easier. Okay, so let's just jump right in, Cheryl. Let's start talking PayrollRewind. And PayrollRewind is one of my personal favorites because I do a lot of payroll support. I do a lot of payroll myself, but I do a lot of payroll support. And I'm usually the one that is trying to help somebody through a bad payroll, right? Something's gone wrong. It's just bad. We all have been there. And I feel terrible when I've got a payroll person on the other side that's got the tears. Everything's bad. They've been trying to fix for hours and it's just bad and it goes to worse. So I want to show you a little bit about PayrollRewind. And Cheryl, I'm going to jump over to product quick. I know I told you we were going to do them all, but I'm going to change that just a tiny bit. I'm going to jump over to product so we can quick do the PayrollRewind demo. The other two are a little simpler, but the PayrollRewind one is a little bit more intense. So I'm going to show you guys real quick what PayrollRewind does. Okay, and you can see I've got this quick little batch right here going, and I'm just going to make a new batch real quick, and I'm going to put a couple guys in there. So everybody hang with me here. So, and this one's going to work on all of your US payrolls. So just so you guys know, US payroll, and works with or without job costs. So you don't have to worry about job cost or service here. You can use it on both. Get a few guys in my payroll. I better get Barb, just so I get a few guys in, okay? And now my test batch here is ready to go. Go ahead. And grab my batch. Okay, I'm just going to build this one through so you guys can see. It's just a normal payroll, nothing fancy, multiple batches, just like you normally would do, okay? Nothing super fancy, but at the same time, sure we've got any reports running here. And build that one through. Yep. Cancel out of my build, jump over to my calculate. Just like a normal payroll, only a few people, so it goes pretty fast. I know some of you got some very large payrolls, and those take a little bit longer. And so that's really where it gets to be, it's hard to start over, right? It's hard to start over. Works with or without McCorma. So right now I've got my McCorma just not active right now. So you're seeing a couple McCorma windows, but don't let that worry you. I've got my print check running here, so I'm just going to go ahead and print my checks. Okay. Give it a second there so you can see everything's normal in my payroll. Okay, and I'm going to print my earning statements because really, think about payroll when you're doing a void. That whole ACH process, that's really where a lot of our payrolls are struggling because they can't fix. Bank doesn't allow them to edit. The ACH file itself is torture to try to edit. right? So I'm going to post this guy right through just so you guys can see him go. I'm not going to share all my journals though, because we'd all be, car sick by the time I got done with that, right, Cheryl?
Yes.
A little car sick so far. Okay, so now my payroll's gone through, letting it post. I'm going to go over and I'm actually going to generate my ACH file. Okay, way at the bottom. And one quick tip here, if you see I've got all of these ACH files, some of you that got some slow payrolls running, you might want to clean those out. It's a good thing to keep these clean. You want to make sure you're keeping your last one, but everybody else should be gone, and get them out of there. Okay, so here's my 422-105. I'm going to create that file. Okay, and cancel on that guy, and you can see it wrote 123 into my ACH folder. So just like a normal one, here's my ACH 123 notepad. There's my guy. Angela right here, she's got a check in here for, looks like $150, okay, in my ACH file. Now, guys, I missed Angela's, I missed her increase, and those are bad. Can't have that. So let's jump back and let's start the void process, okay? And now remember, we're talking payroll rewind here. So I'm coming in, I'm going to bring up my checkbook and go ahead and just redisplay. Okay. Notice all my checks are in here, of course. And if you take a look, here is my new check I just ran for her. And I'm going to go ahead and void that, okay? Just like a normal void. And I'm going to process that through. Now, when you take a look at it, here's where Payroll Rewind is really starting us off. And you can see, has the ACH file been submitted? First question, okay? If I say yes, I've submitted that to the bank, Payroll Rewind is going to do some things different, okay? Because it's not going to mess with that ACH table that you can allow it to regenerate your ACH file without that if you haven't sent it to the bank, okay? So I'm going to say, has your file been submitted? I'm going to say no, because I want it to fix my file. I want to take Angela out, okay? And I'm going to say, yes, I'm sure I want to do it. So good double check. Now here's my void process. This is running like a normal void, nothing different here, okay? I'm going to cancel on the rest of these guys. There's just your normal void happening here. And yes, I have every payroll register on that you can imagine, because I'm a good accountant. Okay, and now, again, here's Payroll Rewind coming in, and it's now saying, do you want to add the voided transactions back to the payroll transaction entry window? I, of course, want to do that, okay? There's my void coming up, just like I would expect. Okay, perfect. Everything normal there. Now, if I go back to my transaction entry, what you're going to see is I have a new batch right here, and I probably got a few things in there because I was doing some testing, guys, and you can see right down here at the bottom, sorry about that, it gave me my entry that it just put back. Angela's check just came back in, and now here I can go ahead, I can make any changes to that I want. Oh, you know what, only 30 hours of that was regular. I can do those changes now. Her transactions are back. So me as a payroll person, I'm not worried about the 400 transactions she may have had. They're back in and I'm able to fix them. Okay. But really, the really fun part is, remember when I showed you that ACH file a second ago? I'm going to recreate that ACH file here. Because remember, when I did that last time, she was there like I would expect. Okay. Now, here, she's not going to be in this file anymore. She's going to be removed. Okay, you can see she's out of here. And when I go ahead and I take a look, there's my original ACH, the 123. Remember that guy? With her right here at the top with her payment. Now, if you take a look at 124, here we are at 124. Look at, she's still in my file, right? But she has no money now in this batch. If I would do another check process, then I would just want to make sure on my generate ACH, I had both of them in, okay? So Payroll Rewind, it's going to fix the ACH, it's going to put the transactions back for you, and guess what? Your payroll people, it's a fast, easy process. I have had some that have done bigger transactional, like, hey, I've had a whole payroll go bad, being able to pull them back. Those types of things are really where Payroll Rewind really earns its money. Cheryl, what'd you think about that Payroll Rewind?
Gotta love it. Yep.
Pretty fun, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the next one, which is TimeCorrect. And TimeCorrect is one of those ones that if you use Key to Act, either job cost or signature, you probably have used the TimeTrack module a time or two. So guys, on time cards, when something goes in, trying to get it fixed and get it corrected is another new nightmare, right? So let's go ahead and let's look at a fix that we can do. And on this fix, what you're gonna see is here's Alan. He's in at 224, guys. And you know, this is usually another spot, again, as we're trying to make those fixes, Cheryl, that things just go bad to worse. So here I need to fix this, and I need to make sure that I get everything in order to fix it correct, right? Well, what we did is we said, oh, guys, this should be easier, So we made what's called TimeCorrect. And what you can do is use this little button right here saying TimeCorrect this entry that's in my window. So I'm going to go ahead and TimeCorrect. And if I look at my actions, I have two choices. I can just simply reverse it like, oh, shoot, we shouldn't have had that entry, fixed it already in the payroll, but I want to make sure I back that entry out. Or I can go ahead and reverse and create a copy, okay? As easy as that. So now what you're seeing is in my window here, I not only have the minuses for him, but I have some pluses here. And oh, sorry, Cheryl, I was practicing again. Aren't you glad I practiced?
Practice is good.
I should have cleaned up some of my practices, huh? But let's go ahead and do that same thing with the 4 hours that we have here below, so you guys can get a feel for how it works again. So I've got the 4 hours now here in front. And typically, if I was doing this by hand from scratch, I would be writing all of these things down to make sure I put them in exactly the way that it went in the system in the first place. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead, TimeCorrect, and I'm going to say actions. I'm going to say reverse and create copy. Okay, now again, it's taking you right back to the batch. Here we go. Here's the reversal right here like you would expect. Okay, and it's putting that here. And again, here's your new positive entry that you can go through now, make any changes that are needed, whether it's a union, rate class, any of those pieces now are able to be adjusted because you've created your minus transaction and you're adding in your plus transaction. Use, of course, with a service, job costs, but also those unbilled transactions if you need to correct those as well. Cheryl, what do you think of that one?
Well, nobody makes mistakes, but it's good to have.
Well, we sometimes get a lot of mistakes happening around those two areas. And usually when everybody's fixing is when those fixes, like I said, go bad to worse. So guys, so far we've talked about Payroll Rewind. We've talked about TimeCorrect. And look at Cheryl, I'm in record time here. I've only used half of our time so far. You should be really happy with me.
I am. Save the time for me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep, it's time for you. We're right here at WebTimeEntry. But do you want to check and see if we have any questions in our question pane first?
I have the question pane up and we do not have any questions at this time, but reminder for everyone that if you do have a question, go ahead, just type it in there and we'll answer it when we can, right after the next demo.
Perfect. And Cheryl, I know I'm going to make you presenter here at one point, but do you want to talk a little bit about WebTimeEntry while I have the slide up, and then just let me know when you're ready for me to slide over to you on your machine for WebTimeEntry?
Sure, absolutely. So WebTimeEntry is a tool that you can use to record labor, expenses, travel, and you're doing it remotely if you want to say. It's using a web browser. So it could be on a computer if you really want it to be, or it could be on a phone or on an iPad, let's say, or a tablet. Again, anywhere where you can get that web browser and connectivity to your back office. Because as you enter transactions into WebTimeEntry and submit them, it's going to go back into TimeTrack where Deb was earlier and record that information there, just like if you're using, Mobile Tech, Clock, or other import tools, I'll say, for time entry. So let's switch over. If you're okay, Deb, I'm going to do the demo. So I think you have to stop sharing.
There you go. You should be set.
All right, let's see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, which screen is it showing you?
I see your GP Dynamics.
You do? Okay. Well, let me see if I can show the other one. Didn't ask me. Okay, so now do you see my web time entry?
We do, much better.
Excellent. All right. So first thing we need to do is log into my web time entry. We have the choice to log in as an individual or if I'm going to do crew time. And so here, some exciting things because crew entry was one of the new things we added this past year. So for crew, if you think back to TimeTrack, you get to set up crews within TimeTrack. And that's applying the crew entry here. So I could actually enter time for 5, 6 people at a time if that's who's in my crew. So we'll go do individual first and then we'll go to crew. I think we'll have time.
Okay, perfect. Remember, I got a few more fun things to show.
Yeah. So in WebTimeEntry, you don't need to be a technician like you do in some of the other products. You can just be an employee within Great Plains. So I'll go ahead and log in as Alan and his password. And it takes us right in so we can select, am I going to enter time today for this week or last week? Because I know sometimes it happens those Monday morning you get in and go, oh, I don't think I finished logging time for last week, right? It happens all the time. And we also are going to talk about history where you can go back and see if you entered everything for last week or not as well. So we'll start out entering time for this week. We're going to do a new transaction. And the nice thing about web time entry is it's all really drop down. And so you don't have to do a lot of typing, which is good when you're out on the web and you're out on a device. Makes it a little bit easier. First step, is this for job cost, for service, or unbilled transaction? We'll go ahead, we'll choose a job to start with. And today, I believe, is still Wednesday. We'll record time there. So we selected job cost. So here it's asking us, which job do you want to post time to? And we have from web time entry setup, you choose how you want to see the defaults in this window. You have the ability to just see the jobs that this person, this technician is assigned to from an appointment standpoint. You could still go that route if you want to do that. You can also choose to say, I want to see all active jobs, and it'll display that. Or you can pick and choose which jobs will be presented into this dropdown. So we'll go ahead, let's choose the top one, the standard billing one. Cost type, and again, what type of transaction are you recording? Where we talked about you can do labor, expense, travel. So we'll do labor today. Cost code, these are the cost codes coming off of the job I've selected above it. And we're going to do, well, engineering labor. It's a good one for me today. Pay codes, these are the pay codes assigned to Alan that we're seeing in this drop list. So you only see the pay codes that you could enter time in against as you're logged in. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose my hourly pay code. You can enter a description and that goes into TimeTrack. And I'll just put TimeTrack description. That will go over. And then the number of units. How many hours did you work on this particular pay code for this job? I'll answer 4 and click update. What it's going to do is accumulate those transactions here in your web browser until you're ready and to submit them. Because you could still edit them or even delete them if you needed to start over because you entered in all the wrong data. But once you click submit time, it is sending the data that you have here in your web browser back into TimeTrack. And then you could go through your regular approvals and everything like you normally do with your TimeTrack. So I'll go ahead and submit. Everything was submitted successfully. And like I said, you can view history because I know for me, I forget sometimes, have I entered that data yet? Have I entered the hours that I was thinking about earlier? Did I get busy and forget? So here you can see for the current week, again, just radio buttons. Here's what I've entered in for jobs and for service. And these are some from earlier, as well as I can click on the prior week and see that I've entered in data there as well. And I did an unbilled one in there as well, so you can see that. So that's individual time entry. I'm going to switch over and show crew entry as well. And basically, you're still seeing the same type of windows that we just saw as an individual, except for when we enter a transaction, we're choosing to enter the transactions for the whole crew. So we're going to go in and we'll do work crew, do a new transaction, and we'll do just what we did earlier. Again, selecting those options. And again, at most people and most users that are on this today tell us it's very easy to do. And because sometimes they say, as fat fingered, I believe is the word they, it's easy to correct as well. If they enter the wrong cost code, they can easily get back over here and do the drop down and get it fixed up. So again, just displaying the information that pertains to them. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in 3 hours here. You'll notice we have a new tab up here that says crew. So this tells me who I'm entering my transactions in for. So the work crew set up within TimeTrack would be these individuals here, the 6 of us. And if, let's say for this particular entry, Alice really wasn't there for that day, she was out sick, I could remove her by unmarking this checkbox and it would only create the transaction for the 5. I'm going to leave her on for now and show you one other way that I can also do that. So I'm going to click insert, just like before we had an update button. And here it's created the transactions for all 6 of the individuals part of that crew. But I can still edit Alice or even delete Alice. So if it's easier to just get them entered in and then come to this window and choose to edit and delete them, you sure can. So I'll show you, I'll edit. And Alice, we're going to take her down just to 2 hours. Let's say she had to leave early for an appointment. We'll click update and you'll notice over here she's only got 2 hours, the rest have 3. And again, we'll submit that time and it's submitting all 6 transactions back into TimeTrack. Pretty cool, huh?
Very cool, very fun. I know our users that have this love it. A lot of the time clock products that are out there right now are being, having fees upon fees for per user. Ours is just a single module price. You have it, same module, same, all companies, same price. So kind of a fun one, Cheryl, that to really help. And I know right now it's surprising how many companies that people are completely remote. And if they aren't on a mobile tech or doing time through mobile tech, they're looking at more solutions that are very cost effective.
All right, I know we got a couple more things to talk about in slides. Deb, do you want to take back over?
I'm taking back over. I'm trying anyway.
I see some questions coming in though while you're doing that. I'll read the question if you don't mind.
Okay, yep, go ahead.
All right, hi, if we use PayRollRewind, does that take the costs back out of the call or service calls or jobs also?
Great question, right, Cheryl? So yeah. Was that on PayrollRewind or was it on TimeCorrect, Cheryl? Say that one more time.
PayRollRewind.
Okay, so PayrollRewind, right now, if your transactions are coming in through TimeTrack, it won't update them in TimeTrack. So it will only update the payroll records. Okay, so at that point, Cheryl, I think what they're asking about, they're doing payroll and they're putting the job or the service call on the payroll side, correct? And Cheryl, do you know if we've tested that all the way through? I'm just trying, I know it could come back. I just don't know if we've tested it. I'm gonna give that one back to development.
Does the cost, I'm reading it again, does the cost come out of the call or service call? This PayrollRewind, we haven't actually finished posting it, but it would have already been through the commit process of TimeTrack, which would have put the costs on the service call or job.
Right. So if they're not using TimeTrack, Cheryl, go to where they're just putting the job or the call into payroll, into labor transactions. And I think what we'll do is we'll take that one offline. We'll do a couple more tests on it, okay? Because it's bypassing TimeTrack. So that's what I want to test, okay?
Yeah, and just Sarah, if you want to confirm it, are you not using TimeTrack? Just so we answer your question accurately. When you get a chance, you can type that in. So, all right, go ahead, Deb. I think we are back to
We're
you.
back. Can you see me okay? Got my screen back going?
Yeah, so, do you want to go full to your slideshow?
Sure. Okay, now you got my full slideshow?
Yes.
Maybe. Okay, perfect. So guys, a couple other ones that I just want to talk about real quick. If you don't already have our PTO liability report, it allows you to do liability like you've never done before because we are using an Excel refreshable. We're using an easy setup inside of payroll to put that liability into an Excel refreshable that you can copy and paste right back into your GL entry. We have some that used to do liability calculations once a year, and they dreaded them like you can't imagine. And now they've turned around and they're doing that liability calculation every 2 weeks or once a month to put it into their financials as an accurate number, because our liability report is so easy to use. This is an absolute free tool. If you don't have it and you want to try it, let us know. We will get you that tool. Okay. Cheryl, before we get to that one, I'm down to, I have 2 more extra whole minutes, just so you know. And I want to show one more if you're okay, because this is one of my new absolute favorites. Can I show this one? Did you just see my screen change?
I did see your screen change.
Perfect. So, and I haven't gotten to do this one very much because we brought it last to Summit. And at Summit, we talked about it, and I think we talked about it, and then we came back, and it's kind of been sitting on the shelf a little bit. So I dusted it off for Synergy because I love this tool. It's our Customer and Vendor Inquiry Plus, and if everybody hangs with me, you will love this, okay? So everybody is used to using the inquiry, sales, transaction by customer, or transaction by vendor. You guys are all used to this window, and when you come into it, the first thing you have to do is, of course, find the customer, figure out, oh, I don't want history. Oh, I don't want it this way. I only want a small date range. You guys get how this window works. Oh, and then oh, I need this. You guys all get this, right? And this customer is on my phone, and how much do they owe me? And where is it? You know, the whole thing, and you're dropping down. Okay, now let me show you the one that we made. It does not replace that one, so you have both. Okay, so if people in your company really like this one, they still can have it. You still can have it. Let me show you this one on ours. So I'm just going to clear this for a second, and I'm going to bring that one right back up again. Okay, perfect, good. Just so I get a better screen look for you. Now, take a look at this. Way different look. Same information, different look. Customer, I'm talking to the customer, and he's like, Deb, I don't think I got anything over 90 days. And you're like, oh yeah, 144050, right here it is. Oh, look, guys, right there, multiple items. Wasn't that handy? And you know, the 1440 is great, Mr. Customer. And of course, I'm seeing only the open transactions, and you know, all my columns are searchable. But it's really this 48060 that I'm really wanting to collect here, because you know, that's my my new favorite one. And if you notice here, when I'm looking at this one now, guys, double click, and it's right in front of you. Okay. Here's that invoice. If I had my email hooked up, I could hit my email, I can reprint, I can send it off to the customer. Or if the customer's like, hey, you know what, Deb, I really feel terrible about that 1440. Can you give me that quick list, right? Watch this. Here goes my Excel. And there's that quick list right in Excel for you. And you can highlight, take any of those columns over that you want, copy, paste, and away you go. Wasn't that slick? You have it for both customers and for vendors. And look, no more unchecking history. Tons of information here right at your fingertips. And all of your drill backs are there. If you want to look at one specific area, all areas, they're all right there for you. Now, Cheryl, wasn't that one fun?
Yeah, I like that one.
I love that one too. I know. The dev guys kind of gave me a little grief over making that one, but I'm kind of glad we pushed ahead for that one. Okay, so guys, a couple more quick things. Just reminding you guys all that we're here to help. Support, consulting, training, or development. Our developers right now are going super crazy, either making fun tools for you for every day or helping customers with specific dev projects that they might be having a little time to work through right now on the customer side, because they're kind of slow on some of their other projects. Okay, so kind of keep us in mind for those. We're always here. Our support desk is always open for all of you. Right now, we're running what they're calling our payroll triple play promo. I love how they give me all these hard combinations to say, Cheryl. But this is actually our Synergy promo too. Even though Synergy is completely going to be remote and online, and we're super excited to have lots of sessions coming at you next week or in the coming days ahead. One thing to keep in mind is that with your first tool purchase, you're at 10% off. Second tool purchase, you're at 20% off both. Third tool purchase, you're now at 30% off. Okay, so guys, use that. Get all 3 of your tools. And more. I mean, definitely the 30% is ongoing for as many tools as you need. So Cheryl, quick reminder, Key to Act days coming up. at GPUC, we've extended that to 2 days. And I know Chelsea's been putting together some new things to be sending out. So we're going to have Key to Act Day is extending to 2 days at GPUC. GPUC is still 2.5 days. We're hoping by November that we are all back to normal and that GPUC can go on as scheduled. That's our hope, and everybody's got their fingers crossed. And our team right now is going through and just working on getting more and better things for you for GPUC. We're actually running our Empower Workforce webinar series right now too. So if you haven't heard about that, you still have time to get in on that. All those sessions are recorded. It's $1,000 per company. You can have as many people in there as you want. They're all recorded and you can watch them as many times as you would like. And I want to say it's up to 22 sessions now, I believe, Cheryl.
Great.
Okay, Cheryl, I am down to our contact us slide and record time. I'm only really at like 1 minute over. Any questions in the question pane for you?
Yes, yep, we got a couple of things here. Got an update from Sarah. So yes, using TimeTrack. And so I would say if you want to use PayRollRewind to handle the backing it out on the payroll bank side, but you'd still need TimeCorrect if you want to take costs away from the service called jobs.
Yep.
Anything else to add there, Deb?
Nope, that is absolutely perfect. Use them both hand in hand, and right now you can get them all 30% off. So no worries at all. That'd be a great combination.
All right, so the next one, I have one more question. If a crew leader enters time for others, can those individuals then see that time in their own history and edit or view it? And so, yeah, so if a crew lead enters in the time like I did today, the individuals can see that history in their history tab. They cannot edit or view it inside of WebTimeEntry. It could only be edited back in TimeTrack.
Perfect, good.
And I think that's it for questions at this point.
So guys, let us know if there's things that we can help with. Everyone, stay healthy, stay safe. We're hoping that everybody is doing well. And like I said, if there's anything that we can do, let us know. Thanks, Cheryl, so much for hanging out with us. I told you it'd be great entertainment, right?
Oh, yes.
Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.